This is Travis Wayne Goodsell. It's first thing in the morning. I won't be going running this morning, not because of a superstitious paranoia of thinking it's God's Sabbath day. If you're new to my channel, you would know better of me. And you also would know that as a new Mormon, you're not allowed to bully me on my channel. I had to delete a guy yesterday who was new to the new type of video I had, and so apparently I'm attracting new viewers with different types of videos, and so I apparently have to keep reminding Mormons you can't bully people. It's not nice. It doesn't prove your church is true. The church is true. Your church. But as you also know, I've made the discovery that the signs of the last days apply to specifically the Mormon church, the LDS church. And notice I say LDS and Mormon, not the full title that the false prophet wants to have announced. False prophet, I'm referring to John the Revelator. He says that there's a dragon controlling a beast and a false prophet. Beast I've identified as Donald Trump. And so, because it's the United States that's the identified nation, therefore it is the LDS Church who is the religion. So tonight is the sign of the collapse of the religion, the Church of Jesus Christ, the Latter-day Saint Church. Because God did not approve of Brigham Young, if you are unfamiliar with it. Many people blame Joseph Smith because he was the founder, and they have multiple reasons, you have multiple reasons to hate Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith, as I've indicated in my other videos, is actually an American patriot. Yes, their background was one of controversy, but then the William Morgan affair occurred, and the Smith family chose the right, so to speak, and changed course on what they wanted their lives to be. And so, yeah, the hymn Praise to the Man is appropriate for Joseph Smith. However, Brigham Young is not deserving of any praise and had turned the church into a downward spiral of corruption, degradation, pollution, and depravity, changing the very nature and character of God himself to being a sexist, to being a racist, to being a murderer. So, yeah, all my videos tie into each other. So if you aren't familiar with my other videos, you're missing out on the big picture that I see and why I explain what I do. And like I said, this is communication. So like the hater Mormon yesterday, who was new and thought he could bully me on my channel, this is not media entertainment, guys. If that's what you're coming here for, You're going to be disappointed. I have a monotone voice. I put myself to sleep. Yesterday I was reviewing my Torah video for the notes to make the Torah video I did yesterday, and put myself to sleep. I have that kind of voice, so I understand you guys want it short and you want the information and then boom, move on to your other lives, but the information here is not something that I can just put out there. You guys won't believe it. I have to explain myself to you guys. But yet, when you don't believe it, you expect everybody to believe you automatically without your explanation as to why you don't believe it. That's hypocrisy. So, yeah, I mean, you can't argue, I don't believe, therefore, you're wrong. It doesn't work in an argument. It doesn't work for debate. It doesn't work in communication. That's insufficient to lead to the conclusion, I'm wrong, is that you don't believe. So, you know, yeah, I could be doing others, but right now we're having the sign tonight at midnight, 12 in the morning. We'll be on the East Coast when the sign of the collapse of the religion will occur. In Utah, it'll be 10:12, and California 9:12. So yeah, it's the sign of the collapse of religion. And so to give you a background, if you're new and haven't watched my other videos, the ancients understood the eyes of Horus, it's Egyptian obviously, as referring to both the sun and the moon. The right eye is government. The left eye is religion. I'm still wearing the shirt from yesterday. Notice it's the left eye for religion. My neighbor had his sister come over, I think Friday night, and I was going around posting about the eclipse tonight, and forgot to remind him about Star Trek Discovery. That started up again, and so I knocked on his door to let him know, and there she was, and she saw my shirt, his sister, and she saw my shirt and said, "Oh, that Eye of Ra and the Ankh." She sort of hesitated on Eye of Ra, caught her off guard, but then she said, "Oh, that's my language," and I wanted to further discuss that with her, but I didn't want to intrude on what he had her there for. So I didn't get to further discuss with her anything. But yeah, lonely guy like me, and a woman comes along and says that's her kind of language, Egyptian. Not nice. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, the solar eclipse that we had back in 2017, remember? That was a collapse of the United States government. And guess what's going on? Our government has collapsed. Trump yesterday was supposed to give this big announcement, and it was a dud. It fell flat. Even the right-wing pundits, what do you call them? They were all upset with Trump. You're caving. You're giving up. And of course Nancy rejected it anyway, so nothing there. But yeah, it was a big dud. What was he thinking? So man. And then yeah, so the government will continue to be shut down as people suffer. The bondage, the torture will intensify, just like it did under Pharaoh in the story of the Exodus. And that's what the whole Torah video was yesterday. So I'll try to work on the video of the Old Testament, the Tanakh, as the Jews understand it, or the Nach, because the Torah was already done. Torah, Nach, Nevi'im, prophets, the writings. Okay, so just updating you on what's going on and reminding Mormons you can't troll. You can't throw the metaphoric stones and arrows, as the Book of Mormon indicated Samuel the Lamanite. And so, yeah, Samuel the Lamanite was one such Mormon who attacked me on somebody else's channel. And that was his argument against me. I don't believe, therefore you're wrong. And we can agree to disagree. No, we can't agree to disagree because your argument is not sound. Mormons, you gotta be smarter than this. Because people are just gonna backhand you in an argumentative form. Mormons don't want to be picked on, but yet they don't want to learn how to defend themselves properly. And the only problem is they can't, because once they learn about the church and the history and all that stuff, then they realize, whoops, we're in the wrong place, we're in the wrong religion. And like me, you want nothing to do with it. And so yes, I'm warning Mormons to get out of the church. So, alright, I'm going to end here and get to work today. One more thing, as I'm uploading the previous segment to my movie maker, Samuel the Lamanite, who I was referring to, also argued that what he didn't believe was that he insisted that events on Earth must happen on the very day of the sign. And if they don't, it's not the sign. And so that's absurd, people. And if you don't understand it, then you've never taken an astronomy class, have you? Because these signs are all rare. And they're signs also of the exact date that John the Revelator gave. John the Revelator in chapter 12 gave specific dates. Now, yes, he had a different calendar than we have now. But that's not the dating that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the planets move across the zodiac, just like the sun and the moon. Excuse me, and that indicates a specific dating. So when the sun is in the constellation Virgo, for example, then you're looking around the time frame of September. So when John says that the woman is clothed with the sun, you know he's referring to September. And then when he adds other features to that sign, you're getting more specific as to when the date is. You know, the moon at her feet, for example. That's a specific date during that time frame in September. It only happens once, maybe twice, but but then you've got an addition of 3 stars in the crown of Leo, because Leo was understood anciently as only having 9 stars. So if it has 12, that means 3 additional planets are added to it. And that is the specific date, especially when you have a planet who is emerging from her womb at that time. And Jupiter is the planet known for being in each constellation for a period of about 9 months, the term of a pregnancy. So for this planet, Jupiter, to be in the woman and her womb, so to speak, for a period of 9 months, as it retrogrades back and forth, is a specific date. And so that makes it rare in the sense that it never happened before and will never happen again, because of the way the Earth is tilted and the North Pole changes after a number of millennia, and it's destined to change again in the future millennia. That's why the sign will never happen again. It's because the Earth keeps changing what's going on in the heavens. So if you don't understand that simple basic stuff of astronomy, you're never going to understand how the signs work and how the ancients understood the signs, and that the events don't have to happen on the exact date. So yes, I don't expect the collapse of the church to happen today, because the LDS church is here in Utah and the time is at 10:12. But notice Monson died at 10:01, or was it 2? 10:01, I think it was. Maybe 10:02. But yeah, and the sign of the dragon's tail in John chapter 12 did happen on that day, and he refused to believe that. So Samuel was refusing to believe even his own qualifications of a sign and of an event happening on the exact same day. So yeah, I can't communicate with people who are that frustrating. You can't argue that way, people. You make yourself unavailable as somebody to talk with. And so you isolate yourself from society because nobody wants to talk with you. You can't be reasoned with. So, yeah, Mormons, cut it out. You're not a peculiar people. You know, you're an obstinate people. And that's not good. So, okay, just wanted to put that out there. Oh, yeah. I did have a dream the other morning, a couple of days ago, and I did the video on it, January 29th. So yes, I'm very good at events happening on dates in my dreams. I've been 100% accurate on this, so I know whereof I speak. I've confirmed it multiple times. I don't understand it, but I know that it works. And it goes all the way back to when I was 16 years old in the summer of '86. I had a dream long before the event actually occurred, and I knew the date of when I would get married. And I didn't know until just the other day when I was thinking of the date that I had recently in the dream, January 29th. So yeah, I knew March 13th would be my wedding day, and didn't realize it when I had it, and didn't realize it when I got married either. So that was something that I just recently realized. Oh, that's right, because school ended in the dream at 3:13, and I was wondering, why is it 3:13 that school is ending? I never understood that in the dream. It didn't make sense to me. But it was a dream, and so I said, oh, okay, that's a dream. That's why it happens that way. Alright, so yeah, I have lots of experience of dates being given to me in dreams. And they've all happened to me specifically. January 29th could very well likely be something that happens to me. But my question that I've had lately is, when is this all going to end? When is the torment of the people going to stop? And so I'm hoping that January 29th will be that stopping for everybody, and it won't be me specific. So we'll have to wait and find out. I was worried that the announcement yesterday was going to be something of significance, but Trump fizzled out his balloon. So